Hello, football managers, and welcome to episode 4 of CommunityFM. We have a couple things to address today, and then hopefully I'm going to be moving forward with the sim at the end once I get everything in. We're going to address our transfer list and our transfer short list. But first, I do have to show you something that popped up. So I got advice from some people online. I haven't played as Nottingham Forest yet, uh, and I heard from some people that they had some players in the reserves because they were going through some stuff at the time or something. And I did find a couple of useful players in the reserves, um, mostly bench players. I think I found 4 players, 3 of which are probably bench players, but we do have a player, Radoslaw Majewski, who is a central attacking midfielder and is probably going to be the starter. He looks like a quality player. You can see all his attributes there. So I think we might have found a starter in the bunch. So I'll show you guys him. It doesn't really change anything that we're trying to do in the transfer window, though, because we still only really have the one attacking midfielder. Andy Reid can play on the left as part of an attacking midfield 3, but it's not really ideal for him. He's more of a wide midfielder than really an attacking midfielder. So we still need a few guys in the transfer market. So it doesn't really change anything. And then we have a striker, Ishmael Miller, who has a decent little bit of quality about him, but he's not great. He's valued at $2.2 million. He's on $17,000 per week. So I'm going to put up a poll. I would probably, like I said, I'm going to kind of advise on certain things. I would probably advise selling him for those wages per week and that value. If you look at his attributes, he's really not, I don't know where that value comes from. I don't think he's all that good. But again, it's up to you guys. So I'm going to put a poll and we'll see, what you guys want to do. But that could be a way to get a little more money for the transfer market. And then we have Matt Derbyshire, who is on loan at Blackpool. He's 26, not a lot of value, but he is on 11,000 per week. I got to look and see if they're paying that or if we are. I'll kind of look into that. I believe Ishmael Miller, he's on loan. I think that's why he was in the reserves. But what I meant, I just wanted to double check. But what I meant was that I would recall him and sell him. So I'll like I said, I'll put up the poll. I'll check with you guys. So we would have to recall him from the loan, but that's probably something I would do. And then we did have one more player that I found in the reserves. Let me see if I could find him real quick. I got to remember. I think it was Simon Gillette. Simon Gillette. Yep, he was one of them. He looks like he has a little bit of quality about him. Not so much. Maybe a little deeper. So we can, kind of maybe work him in as a rotation option. And then I don't remember whether or not Guy Moosey, I think he might have been one I found in the reserves too, but he might actually be another guy. He might have enough quality to start. However, his best roles are an anchorman and defensive midfielder, and we're playing an attacking 4-2-3-1. So maybe not the best fit for him, but again, it looks like, looking at his attributes, he has some quality about him, so maybe we find a way to work him in. Only on 6,000 per week with some good numbers, so that's another guy. So I found 5 guys there. So that's what we're looking at in terms of roster. I believe I did transfer list. Yep, I did transfer list the guys we want to transfer listed. It looks like Marcus Tugge is wanted by 2 clubs, Barnsley and Peterborough. So we'll see if they make an offer when I move forward. It doesn't look like Al Rashidi or Henderson have anything yet. No. Okay, so that is where we're at with our roster. And now we're going to do some transfer business. You guys voted. Actually, let me do it this way, probably a little bit easier. You guys voted, and there are 3 players that you voted highly enough to want to go after. One is Emmanuel Thomas. One is Paul McGowan, and one is Diaz on loan. So, those are the three guys that you wanted to go after. So we can start that. I'm going to put a loan offer in here. He's not on much loan-wise. We can pay 100% of his wage. That's not really an issue. I think everything else is all right. Looks like we're good there. So we put a loan offer in for Diaz. We're going to put a transfer offer in for Emmanuel Thomas. I'm going to start low, and we'll see what we're looking at. He's valued at 1.4, but I believe this said 3.8 is where he'd probably be available. So I'm going to kind of go right in the middle. I'm going to start at 2.5 and see what they come back with. Depending on what they come back with, maybe we'll add in some clauses that kind of make it a more favorable deal for us. And then McGowan is the other one, a little cheaper, so that's good. And let me just double check. Yeah, McGowan was the other one you guys wanted. So, make an offer for McGowan. He was available, 1.1 was the low end, so I'm going to go a little underneath that. I'm just going to go right at $1 million, and we'll see what they come back with. The last thing I'm going to do, I forgot to have a vote on this. It's not too big a deal for the first week, though. I'm just going to set a training. So what I'm going to do is we're on the 12th of July right now, so we're right here. I'm going to sim all the way up to here. So what I'm going to do, for the most part, schedule-wise, is I'm going to simulate a week at a time, but I'm going to simulate to right before a match. That way, when we're voting on the team and the tactics and stuff, you have a full idea of who's injured, who's available, that type of stuff. I feel like if I sim to the match at the end of the week, and then, during like the league season when the matches are on Saturdays here, if I sim to like here to Sunday, and the match is like the last part of the sim, then you really won't be able to get a good idea of what's going on with the team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim each sim to right before the match, and the match will then be the first part of our simulation. I think that's going to work a lot better. So what I'm going to do for preseason, I think this is the biggest thing for preseason, we're going to focus on tactics, and we're going to put high intensity, because the biggest part of preseason I found in this game is getting either fitness or getting tactics. And because we're going to be signing some new players, I think getting the tactics down is really going to be the most important part. And then before the game, because again we're working with new players, I'll have to see who we sign. I usually do attacking movement early, but if we're signing new players, we might not have them at the time, so we might be training attacking movement with attackers that we're not even using. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is defensive positioning. Get a little more training in there, seeing as how it's preseason. We'll only rest after the match. We won't rest before the match. Don't really need to do that just yet. And I think we're good there. So we'll go back here, and I believe that's all we have to do. I'm just going to double check. We have our transfer offers in. I did all this extra stuff yesterday. I believe we are all set. So I will indeed move forward now. All right, well, I moved forward today, and we did receive an offer. Sheffield Wednesday have made an offer of £160,000 for Jonathan Greening. However, £140,000 of it is spread out over 4 years. So not really the best offer. He's $200,000 value. He's 33 years old. He's on $12,000 per week, though. He's not going to play, so it might be good to get rid of him, but you just have to consider at what price. It might not be the worst offer, seeing as how he's 33, so I don't really know who's going to come in with a better one. The thing to look at really is the $12,000 per week he's on. That's not really good for the club for a guy that's pretty much not going to play. So Obviously, I'm not making any decisions. I'm gonna put it to a vote. So that's the information for you guys right there. 160,000 total, but 140,000 of it is spread out over 4 years. So that's what you have to look at. I'll put that up to a vote, and we'll make that decision. Okay, so we did just play a match against the reserves, that one they ask you to schedule in the beginning. I never really care for it. I just accidentally did it this time while I was kind of clicking through stuff. I didn't really feel the need to show. It was only a reserves match. I just threw guys in there that are going to be contending for starting spots. Guardiola scored a brace, which was interesting. He played out on the right. But really, not much of note really happened. We won 2-0. So, we do have some updates here. So, we have an update on McGowan. They want $1.5 million. We offered $1 million. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I'm going to still try. We're on a tight budget. So, I'm going to still try to go up a little bit more. But not to the full 1.5. So, what I'll do is this. I'll go to 1.3. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick at 1, and then he's an attacking midfielder. So I'm gonna give at least 20 league goals. I'll pay another $750. It's gonna be a long time before he gets there, if at all. So hopefully they'll accept that, and we can kind of get out of paying that by not having him get to those goals, or maybe we're in the Premier League and that extra little bit of money doesn't really mean anything. So hopefully we can try to steal him for that. And we do have a negotiation. They want 6.25 for J. Emmanuel Thomas. That's going to be very, very tough, seeing as how our whole budget is about right around there, I believe. I want to say, let me see where our stuff is. I always forget where that stuff is. Transfer center. Yeah, so our whole budget is 6.65. We have a lot in the way of wage budget available. I don't think we're going to use that much, but let's try this. Let's see if we can kind of maneuver around here. There's no way we can give 6.25, but he is a very, very quality player. So let's see if we can kind of do the same thing. Let's see if we can go to 4. I think really if we made a big splash and made him our big target, I think we'd be okay. Keep in mind we do have that striker, Ishmael, I don't remember his last name, that we could bring back from loan and sell for hopefully a couple million to beef up the money we have allocated for transfers. So let's offer $4 million plus, let's give 20% from the next sale. And we'll do the same thing. I find that this works really well. Let's do after promotion for him. Throw another $1 million on there, because if we get promoted, the $1 million will definitely be worth it. And if we don't, we won't have to pay it. So not too big of a deal. So let's try that. Usually when you screw around with that stuff, you can get teams to offer or to accept a little bit smaller of offers. However, we do have good news in that the loan for Rafael Diaz was accepted. So that's good news. I don't think in this game we have to do anything. I think it does it by itself, I believe. I have to double check. But yeah, I don't think we have to do anything for loans in this game. I don't think we have to accept them or anything. I think they go on their own. So I'm going to move forward another day. Alright, so we've successfully moved up a day here. Took quite a while. So St. Mirren have come back with a counteroffer for Paul McGowan. It's higher than it was before, so let's see what they negotiated. So they want 1.4 plus the amount for at least 20 goals, but they were only asking for 1.5 flat, so that doesn't make any sense for us. So I'm going to completely get rid of that. And we're just going to give them the 1.5. I feel like that's at the low end. These are players we need. We're kind of in a hole because we have no attacking midfielders. We have to get them. So I'm going to go ahead and make the 1.5 offer, and hopefully they just accept that flat rate. Ipswich they want 4.7 for J. Emmanuel Thomas now, so they came all the way down from 6.25, so that's huge. That's really big. So he was 6.25, now he's just a flat 4.7. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. He can play anywhere across the front. We are lacking in all of them, really. He would be a big get. So from coming down from that high, they dropped it $1.5 million for us. That's big, and I think this is something. Yeah, maybe we can kind of pinch a few $100,000 here and there, but I think this is something we need, and I think we just have to get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that because we have the loan too. So we have gotten our 3 for the budget that we have. I asked for a scouting report from Arsenal for loan. I'm going to do all the big top clubs. So we have Vito Minone, who we could get as probably the starting keeper. He's probably better than, I think Barlow was ours. I forget his actual name. Darlow, maybe. But, so he's probably better than him. We can get him on loan. However, the loan fee is $18,000, so that's a little tricky. We have a defender, a defensive midfielder. So we have a couple of those, and it doesn't really fit into our play style anyway, so not much to do there. Defender, defensive midfielder. No, nothing really going to be there, I don't think. An Icefield, attacking midfielder. That's a possibility because we do lack depth, so we could grab him on loan and just kind of use him when we need. So I'm going to go ahead and scout him first so we can really get a full idea of what we're working on. We don't need any more strikers. So what I'm going to do right now, actually, is I'm going to go ahead to another club. Sorry, where am I going here? I'm going to go to another top English club. Let's go Spurs, because they got a lot of younger players, and we'll get a report on loan players from them. So we do have the offer possibly of Minone. It's going to be an £18,000 fee for the loan, but I'll put that up to you guys. So we're going to hopefully get McGowan and Emmanuel Thomas here. We've already got Diaz on loan, so it looks like we might have the attacking situation figured out. So I'm going to go ahead and move another day here. All right, so we've moved forward another day here. We got our report on Icefield. So those are his attributes right there. We can possibly take him on loan as attacking midfield cover. So you guys can look at his attributes there. Nothing special, but again, he is a young player. Here's a report from the scout. Current ability is 1 star right here, but potential is 3.5, so maybe he could be good. He'd be low in the pecking order. I'm going to put it to a vote because it's your guys' decision, but that's pretty much what we're looking at right now. We did have our McGowan offer accepted, which is great. So we're going to enter contract talks with him. He's only asking for $4,100 per week, which is great. That's not much at all. He's looking for 3 years in length, and he's 24 years old, so there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Actually, I believe that's 4 years in length for this game. Loyalty bonus, agent fee, top division promotion rise. Yeah, that rise is fine because it's such a low base. Yeah, I mean, it all looks pretty good. I'm not going to mess around too much with this stuff. This looks pretty fair, pretty reasonable. I'm not going to waste too much time doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and finalize that, hopefully. And then we're going to move forward another day. All right, we moved forward another day, and we did have our Emmanuel Thomas offer accepted, which is awesome. So he's going to want a little more in wages. We can't offer that high of an agent fee according to the club, so we're going to have to drop that down. His wages are a little intense, so I'm going to try to maneuver those a little bit. If he wants to go that high, we can give it. Our wage budget is actually okay. We have a good amount of wiggle room in the wage budget. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to drop this to, let's go 12.5. I'll cut it by 2.5. everything else looks alright, but what I'll do is I'll kind of bring his goal bonus up. I'll bring his appearance fee up a bit. Team of the year bonus, because if he makes that, we're looking pretty good anyway. And let's see if that... Nope, they really want that. Alright. He really wants that 15,000. I don't really think I have a lot of wiggle room here to work with. So we'll go ahead and see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and finalize that. We do have plenty of wage room budget. So that's not really a big worry. We had like, I think, close to 50,000 per week available. And we only spent 4 on McGowan and Diaz on loan. So I think we're okay there. We might even be able to move that around a bit and take a little from the wages per week and put that into transfer budget depending on who we're going to sell and stuff. So we'll take a look at that. But hopefully McGowan and Emmanuel Thomas offer or accept their contract offers and we can kind of get moving here. So Rafael Diaz has successfully negotiated terms with Nottingham Forest. So we can accept his loan. So great, we got Diaz. For those of you who don't remember, this is Diaz. Central attacking midfielder, can also play on the right, can play a little deeper here. So very good cover all around to have on loan. Could throw him in some different spots. It's going to be a very useful player, I feel. So that's it for today. We go ahead and move forward, getting closer to the friendly, so we can keep on moving. And Emmanuel Thomas is set to sign for us, which is fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and accept that and get a big-time signing this window. That's great. And we are going to keep moving forward, only a few days away from the friendly. All right, so we have another update, and McGowan is also set to sign. So this is great. So we got our 3 big targets. We got all of them. We should be set up top now, up across the front. We're looking real good now. Looking like we're going to be on the front foot heading into the season here. Okay, here we go. We got a Capital One Cup first round draw today. That's always fun. Kind of a sucker for the draws. I really enjoy them. Are we part of this, though? Yeah, we are. Okay, thought so. All right, so I'm going to do it one at a time because I always enjoyed the draw. I don't know, something about it I liked. So let's see. Hopefully we get a home draw. That would be great. All right, we are on the road, but we have drawn League 2 Burton. So that is a great draw for us. We should be pretty happy with that. Burton Albion, you know, down a couple leagues, you know, should be, even on the road, should be an easy win. You know, we'll see. We'll see how the match goes. That's not for a little bit, but I think we could be pretty pleased with that draw. Alright, so we're finally on the match day of the friendly. So we're going to go ahead now and choose our team for the friendly. Remember, we're doing the attacking 4-2-3-1. So right back, 2 center backs, left back, 2 central midfielders, front attacking 3, and a striker. So that's what we're looking at as far as teams. So what I'm going to do is real quick just run over each position. I'm going to bring up the players. Just so you can be reminded, so you don't have to go back to previous videos to look up. So, there's Darlow. You can pause that, check out his stuff. Al-Rashidi. Right back, we have Yara. Halford's going to be a center back, so we have Hutchinson. So Yara and Hutchinson are the 2 options for right back. Then at center back, we have Halford. We have Danny Collins. I'll include here because it's up to you guys, but he's probably going to have to be the left back. Just so you guys know, Danny Collins is currently listed as the captain. So if we change that, what I've noticed in this game, for those of you that haven't played, when you change the captain, shit kind of hits the fan. So I would recommend not changing the captain. So he's, unfortunately, he's going to have to get in there at some place, probably, and I think left back's probably our best option. Daniel Ayala on loan from Norwich. He's a quality player. Another option. Elliot Ward, who is injured. Sorry, Elliot Ward is injured. He can't play. And Jamal Lascelles is the last option. So those are our center back options. So it's really Halford, Ayala, and Lascelles. Then at left back, Danny Collins is probably our best left back. Andy's our captain right now, and then we have Dan Harding as the other choice. So you can decide between those two. And then at central midfield, Lansbury is hurt. Yep, he's still hurt. Can't use Lansbury. So Chris Cohen. Gordiora. Lewis McGugan. Majewski's going to be attacking. Reed's going to be on the left. So then the last one really... Oop, didn't mean to click on him. The last one really would be Simon Gillette. And then real quick, Guy Musi, because he can play central. He's more of a defensive, but he can play central if you guys wanted him to. So those are our options there. So on the left right now, J. Emmanuel Thomas is an option. The next best option, striker. So Andy Reid's probably our cover there. So honestly, there's not really much of a decision to be had there. It seems like it's pretty easily going to be Emmanuel Thomas because Majewski is probably going to be the guy in the center. He's really our playmaker. I guess you could use Cox and put a different striker up top, but Cox is pretty much our best striker. So I'm not sure. You can do that if you want. And then you have Paul McGowan as an option. But I think he's going to be our only real option on the right. So that's McGowan. And then on the right, yeah, Emmanuel Thomas probably going to have to play on the left. So the real only option is McGowan. So that should really sort itself out. And then striker, like I said, Cox is our best striker. Really, although you could use Sharp, who we have on loan. He's more of a poacher, though, which in an attacking 4-2-3-1 can be useful, but I think you want somebody up there to kind of bring other players into the play a little bit. And then so he's on loan still. We have to recall him if you guys want. And then Dexter Blackstock is really the only other option. He's a little bit more of a target man. So those are guys right now. I'll go over after this friendly. I'll kind of do the roles for this friendly, but after this friendly, I will do voting on roles. As far as for those of you who haven't played roles, or like say Simon Cox is starting striker, he could either be a deep lying forward, an advanced forward, a poacher. You can kind of make him go into the role you want. So we'll do that after this friendly. So the last thing, again, just to remind you, we're going to vote on if Portsmouth can take Stephen McLaughlin on loan. So we'll do that. And tomorrow we'll play that first friendly. So we're getting there. We made some big signings today, sold a player, got his wages off the book. So we're definitely going to have some stuff to vote on today. I'll get this up for you guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Twitter, subscribe to the subreddit, all that good stuff. And then looking forward to tomorrow. We're finally going to get to play a match, and we'll see how it goes. So